Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Chronicles of Avel. This is a family weight game it's not really a dungeon crawler. It's more like a, kind of a character building, slightly minor tower defense mechanics. But again, is a family weight game, so meant to kind of entice families to play together. We are going to be taking a look at the base box as well as the Adventurers Toolkit. This is like a expansion for the game, and is very reasonably priced. You can see it doesn't even come in a box, just kind of like a sleeve of cardboard tokens. But anyways, this game originally was released somewhere in Europe, I believe Poland. You can see here are the designers. So this is now a English implementation of the game that we're seeing now by Rebel Studios. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. All right. So again, this is for 1 to 4 players. It says it takes about an hour to play and is for 8+. Usually 8+ means there's a little bit of reading involved, but you could probably assist younger kids in playing. So you can see here there's some tiles here that are going to create a map. There's this track on the bottom where everything starts from. There's a mixture of wooden and cardboard components, even a bag, an equipment bag. Nice, big, colorful instruction manual here. We're going to see this here in a second, but one of the really fun aspects for children that kind of gets them excited about the game is they get to color their own character ahead of time. You can create a little kind of coat of arms, name your character, and then you place this kind of piece together the dual layer player boards. All right, and so I'm not going to cover all of how to play here, but you can see that obviously a parent would probably have to review the rules and go over it with you. What's this? Dawn of Black Moon. Okay. Guide to Beasts of Avel. All right. So this is like a reference manual. This is nice. Okay, and then a player aid. Okay, just one. That's fine. Okay, and here is various ways you can set up the board so that you have increased difficulty or better for various player counts. So there's a lot of ways to manipulate the game to pander towards your audience per se. This is another thing that is just a nice little touch. Is entirely not necessary, but you can see here that it is what the dice drop chart, I think they're called. These things are more akin to like D&D, but essentially if you can't come up with a name yourself, you will, if we can find some of the dice, here you go, you would find 2 dice here, a black and a green, and you would place this in the bottom of the box or bottom of the lid. Where'd my lid go? Do this properly here. So again, this is entirely not necessary. It did not need to include this in the game, but it is just a nice little touch. You would drop your dice in, and you would say, okay, my name is going to be Rada the Prudent. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Again, it's just a dice drop chart to help you come up with a name if you can't come up with one yourself. All right. So here, this appears to be a component to store the box, to store stuff away in the box. That's cool. I've never seen this before, but you can see where it's going to slot into. So we'll definitely show this off at the end of the video. All right, you've got some health trackers. These are wooden heart components. They're nice and big and chunky. We already pulled out the dice here. So various colored dice, pretty straightforward. Symbols, pretty sure the monsters are going to get the purple and the black ones. The heroes get the other various colors. Then you have some wooden walls. We'll see where these are going to come into play here in a minute. Some various baggies. A really nice cloth bag. This is interesting because it hasn't been that long since we did the unboxing for Massive Darkness. I actually have right up here a comparison. So here's the two bags. They're roughly about the same size to get your hand in it, but this one, you know, is slightly bigger, but it's also, you know, it's like a velvet material, whereas this is clearly a plastic material. So really nice touch on the bag. We'll talk about how the bag comes into play here. So these, which look like, you know, punch outs where the stuff is missing, is actually how you create your player board. So you have a stack of sheets here, and they have commented about how they easily could have saved a lot of paper or given you twice as many if they had done like the male on one side and the female on the other, but they didn't. Either way, you get to color in your person here, give them a name, give them a shield arms, and then you place that piece of paper right here. And then as this falls down on top of it, you'll see that the person name and thing come through. But this also creates a dual layer setup for you to add things into your backpack. And if they literally can't fit, you can manipulate them around like Tetris, but if you can't fit it in there, you have to discard something or discard rid of your item. Also, you're going to be adding things like swords and shields and helmets to your person. And here you can see where the hearts go for your health tracker. So it's a really nice, you know, system for these dual layer player boards. All right, let's see if there's anything on the back. No, nothing really on the back side. All right, and then we have some wooden meeples. There is a sticker set out there. It was not for sale at my where I picked up my copy, so I'm not quite sure how to get them, but you can get a sticker set for the meeples, which I've heard is just a nice little touch. And so that's going to be your actual characters. And we've got a box here. It's a little dinged up. You know, you can see that stuff shifted around a lot. So we might have to try and correct that. But the rest of this is, oh yeah, it's definitely got dinged up. Okay. So note to the designers, you got to put some kind of, since these I'm sure were just banging around like this, it just knocked everything silly. But it's just a box insert, so. All right, but here we have some of the various locations. Somewhere around here we have the base track. Okay, so here's the bottom track. Everything builds out from here, and you always start with the castle right in the middle. And this is where the walls can go. You can spend money to build up these 3 walls. Very similar to how Castle Panic, if you've ever played that game. If you can't actually get to an orc as it's coming towards your castle in Castle Panic, if it hits a wall, it destroys the wall, but it, you know, gives you one more round to try and take care of that orc before it enters the castle. So that's what these 3 things are for. Then you can see, I believe some of these are always going to be placed at the beginning, but then there's a whole lot of other ones here. Like here's where you can build a wall. You go to the stone quarry, you pay 3 money, you get to place a wall. Here you spend 3 money. Very straightforward. Here you're building traps. And then locations like this is where you're going to be placing monsters. You can see that like this one is bigger than this circle. Here are the examples of some of the monsters. Here's an example of some of the bigger ones. So you can see here, this is basically the dice that they're rolling against you. The health you have to hit, and your reward for and some negative stuff that will happen. And so again, this is all meant to be very straightforward. You just are kind of rolling dice, comparing hits versus shields, things like that. Here are the items that you'll be adding into your actual player board. So remember, your helm here is going to fit on your head area, your shield, and your swords. Your potions is the kind of stuff that's going to fit into your backpack. So let's just take a look at what that might look like here for a second. So as you're traveling along, we can even give you some hearts. We got 3 hearts left. The hearts is a little odd. I would have expected them to be a much more vibrant red. Anyways, So maybe you have come across and you have earned this mace, and you have earned this helmet. So the helmets are not all the same, but the shape of them is all the same. So that you can see that all of this stuff is meant to fit. There we go. Like so. And then if you acquire a potion, it would go like this. Or if you acquired another sword, it could fit right there. But let's say you acquire another shield. If you can't get this to fit, see how it's not really in there. It can't be sticking up. It can't be overlapping. It has to fit in there. Now you can rearrange here like this, and maybe, oh, I'm so close. I'm so close. You know, obviously you don't want, there we go. See, we did it. We got it all to fit. But that is how your player board gets populated. Now, something to note, where'd our bag go? What do I do with my bag? Oh, I've got the cardboard on top of it. As you gain stuff in the game, you're gonna be drawing it from this bag, and you'll notice that these each have a distinctive shape. There's a reason why they put a little notch at the top of the shields. There's a reason why there's a little curve at the bottom of the helmet here. You don't need that curve here. You don't need that notch. It helps you fit it in there perfectly. And this is distinctly longer. So as you're reaching into the bag, you're actually given 5 seconds. There's a little chant you're supposed to read out. Each weapon, each item has an upgraded side too. But as you're reaching into the bag, you could say, I want a sword, and you can kind of feel around. Nope, that's got a notch in it. Ooh, here's a skinny one. Boom. Now, obviously, adults are probably going to be better at this than children, but there's only 3 shapes. I guess technically you might pull one of these out of there, so the potion might be confused for a sword. Who knows? But that's why the bag is here. All right, and then the last really thing we can check out here is the monster. So this is, for right now, the only monster you're going to be playing against. This is not a campaign game by any sort of means. It's basically like a, quickly run out, build up your character, set up some traps and some walls, and then this same monster is going to come out. Here's this health tracker. We'll put that together. Here you can see some of the traps. I forget what these things are for, but that's something you can purchase and add to your hero as well. And so that's it. There's several already how to play videos out there, or playthroughs. We will be doing one here on the channel if you are interested in seeing this played. So give us some time and we will figure that out. Let's, before I forget about it here, let's see whether or not I want to complain about this. So what is this supposed to do here? Boom. Ah, okay. You fold it up all the way there. You double it up. So it creates a double thick wall, and there you go. So I'm not 100% sure, what they're trying to protect, but at least my broken insert here doesn't keep that. And again, that's a nice little touch. They didn't have to add that into the game. All right. Last but not least, let's take a look at the little adventurers toolkit here, a little mini expansion for the game. That doesn't even come in a box, but there's something very important in here, which a lot of people have said, well, why didn't they just include this in the base game? Why charge a small amount for this expansion? Why not just include it? So let's open this up here and see what we got. The biggest thing is boots. So a minute ago we were showing you how all of the pieces here, I got to get some back out, boom, boom, and boom, fit onto the board, and there was an obvious gap right here where your boots were. Well, you have to pick up the Adventurer's Toolkit to get your boots. So here's some boots. There you go. Now you have some boots. Now, one of the other things that this provides is there's a few more locations that it's providing. Looks like 3 additional locations, but also these right here. Let's see if we can make these work. It appears to be that there's 3 of them our ballista, which you can add to your... I'm really just kind of winging it here as to whether or not this is being put together correctly. But this looks like we're kind of headed in the right direction. There we go. So this is something that you would just place on a thing similar to a trap. It is going to do ranged damage to enemies nearby. I have no idea what its health level is or how you activate it or things like that. You also have some familiars here, or pets, companions that you can gain. You have a fox, an eagle, and a bear. And so that's pretty much it. This little mini expansion is literally just 3 things. So there's only actually 3 pairs of boots, which means, let me just make sure I'm not missing any here. That's interesting. So even if you're playing with 4 players, yeah, here it says 3 pairs of boots. I'm realizing, okay, there we go. I was like, this is not in English. 3 pairs of shoes. So if you're playing with 4 people, somebody is not going to get a pair of boots. Anyways, that's going to do it for our unboxing of Chronicles of Avel. Yes, they did give us a nice little lid to portion off a section of our insert, but obviously we're going to need to do a little bit of a storage solution, so keep an eye out for that video coming up as well. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.